Welcome one and all to Prince Edward School. We are in the capital city of Zimbabwe, in Harare. This is the setting for today's encounter as we bring down the curtain on schoolboy rugby. This is the last dance, the final chapter of the year is about to unfold in front of our eyes. In commentary, my name is Shingi, joined by Kieran. Kieran, how are you feeling today?
How are you doing, Shingi?
Excellent, excellent. I'm feeling good. The weather is good. The sun is shining.
Great rugby today as well, played so far today.
Definitely. So we are at Prince Edward School, home of the Prince Edward Tigers. And this is the setting for the final chapter in this year's schoolboy rugby calendar. So shortly we will see the Lomagundi Bisons taken to the field all the way from Chinoy, taking on the Prince Edward School Tigers here on
Both
Jubilee
very,
Field.
very strong teams this year.
Definitely, both very strong teams this year. So we'll have a quick look at how did we get here and the year that was for both teams. We'll start off with our hosts for today, Prince Edward School. From Derby Day, they opened up with a 17-15 loss to St. John's College, but they concluded Derby Day with an 11 points to 8 victory against Churchill, and that was at Derby Day. And then regular season, Prince Edward were looking quite unstoppable for large periods of that season. Opened up with a 15-31 points victory against Falcon in Esigodini. At home, they put Churchill away with a 29 points to 20 victory. And then they went to St. John's College on Honeyfield and slaughtered the Rams 20 points to 33. And they went on the road to Milton. Very good 8-29 victory in Bulawayo. And then came home again and put Alan Wilson away in a very close encounter, 22 points to 14.
But we did also see Alan Wilson beat them in the Sevens tournament.
Definitely.
Finals.
Alan Wilson did very well in the CBZ Sevens tournament. And then, as everybody will remember, last week, St. George's at home did the job. The Dragons against Tigers last week, 18 points to 17. So Prince Edward, with an 8-game season, winning 6 and losing just the 2, very, very good from the Tigers this year.
You can see some very big boys lining up in the Lomagundi side.
And now we look at the tail of the tape for Lomagundi this year. Derby Day, they opened up with a loss to Churchill, 19 points to 29, and then drew their second Derby Day encounter against Falcon, 19 points apiece. And then in regular season, they've been very strong. They blew Eaglesville away 3 points to 59. Then they lost on the road to Peterhouse, 19 points to 7. And then they went on a very good 3-game winning streak. They bullied the Dragons on Weaver, 10 points to 29. They beat Churchill at home, 20 points to 10. And then they completely annihilated Kyle, 48 points to 0. And then they came undone again at home against Falcon, 15 points to 18. But
again, Lomagundi was also a very underrated school once upon a time for rugby.
Definitely an underrated school, but then they put Hellenic away 63 points to 0. And then they came undone against St. John's College, 22 points to 15. And then in their last encounter, very good away score against Christian Brothers College, 22 points to 41. So that is 11 games in total for the men from Chinoy. And won 6, lost 4, and they drew 1. So that is a very, very good record from the Bisons this year.
It's going to be interesting to see how Prince Edward performs with the head coach being with under-20s at the moment. But I'm sure they've done a lot of work before and they should be able to put up quite a good fight.
Definitely, they should be able to put up a good fight with the head coach who is on national team duty at the moment. So
you've also seen some of these Prince Edward boys being selected for the under-20 squad for next year already. I think it was number 8, Alan, Also a very big boy, powerful player. Done it very well for himself this season.
So taking to the field now are the Prince Edward Tigers. So we are at Prince Edward School, and it would be amiss of us to go without saying that this school, founded in 1898, is celebrating its 125th anniversary this year, while Lomagundi College is also celebrating their 40th anniversary this year. Both teams steeped in history, and with past pupils at Prince Edward, the likes of Nick Price, Tonderai Chavanga, who holds the Springbok record for most tries scored on debut, and the aforementioned Sean D'Souza, who is the current two-time African champion coach, all old boys of this great school. And
if I'm not mistaken, Pete Bernardi from the Gashaks also might be an old boy. You see him there leaving the tunnel now.
Bernardi as well is an old boy of this great school as well. And at some point, Prince Edward was ranked number 6 in the top 100 schools on the continent. And that was back in 2003. But the here and now is what we're now going to deal with, while the Lomagundi Bisons also have a rich history with national cricket captain Craig Irvin, as well, an old boy of Lomagundi College. And a number of very good rugby players have come through the system, including a very good crop of under-20s right now. We've got Alex Nyamunda and Sigauke, Lomagundi old boys, who are lighting it up at the Junior World Trophy at the moment.
And was Dylan Chang not also an ex-Gandhi boy, if I'm not mistaken?
I would need to check my records, but could be. So on your screen now is our match of Bisons, Lomagundi, playing from right to left with ball in hand, kicking it off. High start, well fielded by Tigers. Instantly start breaking tackles, taking the ball forward, and this should be a very good game.
So you started very physical already. It's always a good thing for rugby.
Definitely very physical teams, and a good clearing kick, good chase, and quickly reeled in, but managing to secure possession is Lomagundi, but illegal pressure at that breakdown. Prince Edward Tigers trying to turn over that ball, but doing so illegally.
Both schools have a very big rugby foundation and community rather. So obviously very big day for them all. See all the parents out here today, all ex-school boys. It's really good for the sport in general.
Definitely a lot of pride and bragging rights at stake at the moment. You have the Lomagundi squad that is now in front of me. It reads as follows from number 1, Machimbo, Falkenberg, Mbewe, Ngwarati, Creel, and Guvakuva, who is the vice captain. At 8, we have Chihota Muzemberi. 9, Makuyana. As first line out is overcooked by Lomagundi. And Tigers pick that up.
What a push there.
And excellent work there from Tigers there. Send the ball into midfield. Some very strong runners and some very big ball carriers in that Tigers team. Box kick coming in.
What a take.
Lovely take. Sends the ball back. Finds grass. And it was tracking for a moment. Now Prince Edward going off on a run.
And
quickly bundled into touch. And excellent work there by Prince Edward. Excuse me, by Lomagundi there. And Prince Edward in their eagerness, not releasing. And our referee is Mr. Kuda Matopo, who is not playing games.
I think it's going to be a very emotional match. You've got a lot of upper 6 boys leaving this year. It's going to be the last chance to represent their school at a first team level.
Definitely. So we continue with the team sheet. At 10, we have Chinyadza. 11, Mashonganyika. 12, Chitewe. 13 is Mupamadzi, the captain. 14 is Ngara. And 15 is Gwenzi. So first line out for Lomagundi didn't go to hand. Second one is picked at the front by Prince Edward and is taken back in by Prince Edward. And Rusike immediately dots it down. So a lot of early pressure coming in from Lomagundi, who now missed 2 of their lineouts. And unfortunately, Prince Edward couldn't take that in cleanly. So
We're going for the first scrum of the match now with Lomagundi's number 9 feeding.
So first scrum is set. Referee is not happy. So scrum will have to be reset. A lot of big boys in that Prince Edward team. As we see, the starting 15. Sanyanga, Ujenezi, Gabi, Sifa, Kashoshe, Mutama, captain for the day. Mpagore, Ziki, and at 10 we have Kamuvumbi. So ball is fed in, 8th man break, fed to
Could it be try time already? And it's try time for
try
Lomagundi.
time, Lomagundi. Excellent work there. Coming against the grain was Mashonganyika. And first points go to Lomagundi.
Going to be a very hard kick though from that angle. You can see Prince Edward having a bit of a chat, working on their plan, what to do next.
So Lomagundi coming out the gates firing, and Mashonganyika putting down the first 5-pointer. And now we have Chinyadza, very good kicker, who's had a very good season, had a very good game against St. George's College on Weaver, and will be taking this conversion attempt. And he snatches at it, pulls it to the right. So conversion unsuccessful, but Lomagundi College will not mind at this stage. Scoreline reads Prince Edward Tigers 0, Lomagundi 5.
Been a very good game so far, good plays from both sides. Defense is quite tight on Prince Edward, but that 11 we just got through there.
Definitely some good running against the grain from Lomagundi. And Prince Edward with the likes of Rusike and Unganai and Gabi. Rusike and Gabi selected for the Craven Weak sides. Ball finds grass. Lomagundi inviting trouble, but coming away with it is Lomagundi, giving the ball some air. And some good running there coming in from Mupamadzi, the captain, and who is tackled high. So Mupamadzi, the captain, taking his team forward.
What a kick.
And he slices it infield. It's very rare to see torpedo kicks these days, as Prince Edward reeled that one in. And breaking tackles are Prince Edward.
Some good gain there of ground.
Definitely good work. Referee's arm is out. Pick and go from the Tigers, who have had no ball to play with in the opening 6 minutes of this game. And now it is box kick time. And dropped it cold. Tigers on the hunt and hit hard and coughed up the ball. Tigers on the front foot, but couldn't finish that one off.
Was that not a try? I couldn't see quite clearly there.
He got hit hard and knocked the ball forward, and then his teammate picked it up, and he couldn't finish it off as the referee saw that knock on. But excellent work.
Danger time for Lomagundi being in, Prince Edward being the 22 and 5 meter.
Definitely excellent work coming in as Kunaka had sent that ball over the top.
And both schools are known to be very physical.
Definitely excellent work there from Lomagundi at scrum time, getting some good yardage. Prince Edward over the ball, but hands in the ruck is the call. So Lomagundi trying to speed it up. Referee's arm is still out, playing under penalty advantage. So Lomagundi did not come to mess around today on Jubilee. Intercept
But a knock on at the same time, if I'm not mistaken.
So no advantage coming on that occasion. So Lomagundi definitely came to play today. Captain, fantastic. With ball in hand, his last kick out of hand didn't go into touch. And on this occasion, he finds it. So excellent work there by Mupamadzi to put the ball out and gain some good territory for the Bisons, who take play just inside the 10 meter of Tigers. Short man line out. First two didn't go to hand. Another one goes a begging. So Prince Edward on the counter attack, taking their eyes off the ball. And no advantage coming, so we take play back. But opening exchanges, Tigers looking very nervous. Ball's not sticking and knocking on the ball, very uncharacteristic of them.
I think, yeah, under a lot of pressure from Lomagundi, they probably didn't expect him to come in this hot and hard. And I suppose for Lomagundi, coming from Chinoy is a big deal. You don't want to come all the way to Harare just to get whacked, you know?
Definitely no one gets on that bus and comes all the way down the Nyamapanda Highway to just hand over a victory on Jubilee. And
but for PE, playing at home with your whole school watching, I don't think you want to lose either.
Definitely not wanting to lose. And excellent work at scrum time by Prince Edward to milk a penalty on that occasion, as Lomagundi were judged to be scrumming up.
You can see the schoolboys still keeping Prince Edward in high spirits.
So Kunaka with a long penalty kick. What a kick. Excellent kick. He has gained easily 60 meters for his team and has taken them right onto the doorstep of the Lomagundi try line. And now it's time for Prince Edward to execute. Prince Edward going for the full man line out.
Oh.
And picked at the front. And referee not happy with the channel being closed at the front there. So will he ask them to retake that line out? Yes, he does.
Seems like a lot of teams' lineouts aren't very solid these days. I think it's something they need to work on.
So Ujeneza with the line out. Straight into the maul go the Tigers. Can't go forward just yet. Bisons holding strong. Kunaka with ball on hand. Does he want to play it or have the Bisons swallowed it up? And turnover, Bisons. Excellent maul defense.
Very, very good work from Lomagundi.
Bisons come away with the scrum feed. They did well to swallow in that Prince Edward maul. Looked like it was set, but no momentum at all. And that ball did not come out, and eventually Prince Edward.
Massive scrum from both sides now. Very big boys in there.
Very, very big boys indeed. I don't know what they feed them out there in Chinoy, but these Bisons are massive. Lovely dancing feet under immense pressure. And offside is the call.
I heard a rumor that the Bulawayo boys are so tough because of reclaimed water. Maybe the same thing happens in Lomagundi.
Maybe, maybe. There must be something in the air out there in Chinoy. Because this Bisons team, very good year they've had so far. As we said, 6 victories out of the 11 matches. 4 losses and that Derby Day draw to Falcon. And if you cast your mind back to the last time that these two teams met a year ago in Chinoy, Lomagundi came away with a very, very good victory, 39 points to 22. So Lomagundi looking to go back-to-back against Tigers. Is it possible today?
I think it could be, but I feel bad for the Tigers. I don't know a lot of biases, but they've worked hard this year to get to at this point. And obviously everyone's got to win and lose, and if you do the work, you're going to get the results. But it could be very possible Lomagundi walks away with the win.
Another line-out goes a-begging for Lomagundi. So 4 line-outs so far, by my count, by Lomagundi, and all of them not going to hand. And I'm sure their coach, another famous old boy of the Lomagundi Bisons factory, Bob Mahari, will definitely have an answer as to how to fix his line-out woes, because at the moment they are letting Prince Edward off the hook. So Kunaka with ball in hand. Second scrum feed for Prince Edward. The first one came under a lot of pressure, and this one has to be reset.
You can see Prince Edward have picked up their defense a bit, hoping to not let Lomagundi through there again.
Definitely, from where I am, I can hear Bob Mahari giving his charges in the front row. A lot of encouragement and instructions. And so the ball is in. 8-man break. First man is put aside. But excellent work by Tigers.
Very good hands there.
Lovely work. Kamvumbi sells the dummy. Can't free up the arms. Swallowed up by the Bisons. And ball is available. Kunaka. And is that Ujeneza with the carry, trying to get his team to go forward. Tigers knocking on the door. Bob Mahari urging line speed from his team. Tigers looking for holes. Some big carriers in that midfield.
Could it be try time?
Holding firm is Lomagundi. Lovely angle, but well defended. Counterattack Bisons, but ball is still available for Tigers. A little bit of a juggle, and then the knock comes. And Tigers not looking very fluid at the moment.
No, I think their hands aren't as good as they could be, and not as good as they've played this season, in all honesty.
But credit that Lomagundi defense. Some lovely runners, lovely angles coming in from Tigers that were being chopped and stopped instantly. And no momentum being given by the Bisons at the moment.
I think everyone's bodies are a bit tired, played a whole season of rugby, and now I think it's just time the wheels are falling off now.
Last game of the season, this is the last hurrah for a lot of players in Upper Six. And they will be looking to end it on a high. So, ball is fed in.
8-man pick again.
Musemberi, lovely work.
Oi. And that number 9's got some good feet for her.
Lovely work by the Bisons to take play just to the 22. They go out to the right. Captain Fantastic freeing up the ball, eventually brought down to ground. Bisons in control on the scoreboard and in control of the ball at the moment. Lovely tackle from Tigers. Man over the ball. Turnover is not good. He did not maintain his feet. So all the calls are going the Bison's way at the moment.
I think silly mistakes like this is what's going to cost them the game.
So Tigers, in their desperation to turn over that ball, gave away the penalty. So good touch finder, but not as good as he would have wanted. Takes play just to the 10-meter, right in front of that bank of Lomagundi College students who are in full voice at the moment. 16 minutes into this encounter, Prince Edward 0, Lomagundi 5. Did you see the scoreline coming?
No, I thought it would have been Prince Edward in the lead, but Lomagundi has done well.
Finally, a Lomagundi line-out goes their way.
Another
Ball
great kick
boot
there.
to boot, Chitendeni underneath, and can't feel that ball. And ball goes into touch. So Lomagundi doing a lot of things very well at the moment.
It looks like they've practiced hard for this game, and the coaches have put in a lot of work to get them prepared for this.
Well-drilled team, and the question then can be asked, Tigers have played 8 matches this year, the Bisons have played 11, and the question then is, do Bisons have that little bit of an edge because they have played more games, do you think?
Could be, but I would expect them to be more tired than the Tigers. Have had a bit more rest in between and time to get their bodies prepared for the next match.
Big pass out to some of the gas men on the far side. And Tigers trying to find the combination that will unlock this Lomagundi defense, which has been very strong up to this point. Pick and go around the fridges, Tigers. but well met by Lomagundi.
You can see a lot of discipline and composure from both sides and just thinking before they play forward.
Definitely. Line break, Tigers. Big man going up on a rumble, linking up. Tigers on the hunt. Bison scrambling. And Kunaka slowing it down. Firing it out into midfield. Massive carry. And Tigers on the hunt. Kunaka slowing it down. Assessing his options. Going to the left. Another big, massive human taking the ball up. Tigers, show and go. Breaking the line. Lovely little offload. Tigers on the hunt. Tigers are firmly on the front foot. Massive leg drive being driven close to the line. Bisons defending for their lives. Ball is fired out. Bison's hand comes out. Ball is being kept alive. Kambumbi, show and go. Ball is available, pick and go is missed. Knock on Tigers.
I think they need to work on their hands here because they're getting quite close to the try and then they just get sloppy and they lose the ball.
Story of Tigers match last week against the Dragons where they had line break after line break. I think by my count in that second half they had close to 3 line breaks that were hauled in right at the try line. So Tigers last week not at their clinical best, and so far not at their clinical best. 19 minutes in, and Bison's keeping them scoreless. So tap and go is the play. Tigers, do they give this ball some air, or is it going to be a forward play? Forwards it is. Getting closer are the Tigers. Referee scrambling to have a look. Everybody's on standstill.
Could it be try time?
If referee has not awarded the try by now, surely it is held up in goal. So referee calls time off, giving himself as much time as possible. And taking a step back. Did he see clear grounding? Was it on the line? Was it over the line? Were their bodies in the way? A lot of permutations.
A lot of work goes into refereeing and a lot of people don't give them enough credit, but they've got to make some tough calls out there.
Definitely a tough call is on hand right in front of that VIP enclosure housing the Prince Edward Old Boys. And going forward is the call. So team going forward was short. So referee maybe did not see a clear grounding. So we go back for a 5-meter scrum. But the danger's not over yet for Lomagundi Bison.
No. If you look at it, I think PE has had a lot of gain of the ground and a lot of possession of the ball, but it's silly mistakes when they get close to the try line and in the danger zone that they make their mistakes.
Definitely letting Lomagundi off the hook is Prince Edward. But they have an opportunity now. Perfect platform. 8th man break. Gets rid of the first. Straight into the captain. Strong is the captain. Try time. And as we were all celebrating, referee says penalty Bisons.
Oh, wow. No, try was awarded.
It was a penalty. Double movement. Looked like he had the opportunity to stretch over and dot it down, but instead referee says double movement. So Tigers close again.
So I think that's a 4th missed try so far in the first 22 minutes.
Tigers are definitely doing well at scrum time, doing well at line-out time, doing well to take the ball forward, but just not crossing the whitewash. And whatever ailment they had from last week against Dragons looks like it's now following them this week.
Could this also
encounter.
be pressure playing at home on the last match of the season? Your whole school's watching your old boys and you're just making silly mistakes because you're stressed.
A lot of that comes into play as well. That is another line-out that goes a-begging for the Bisons. So that is only 1 line-out win out of 6 by my count for the Bisons, which is not good enough. But for the time being, Tigers are not capitalizing. They're not taking these opportunities that Lomagundi is presenting to them. And the longer it goes, the longer, the more the Bisons will believe that they can win this one.
I think the defense on the Lomagundi is really putting into play and showing the Tigers that, hey, this is our territory, back off a bit.
So we are on Jubilee Field here in Harare, the home of Prince Edward School, 125-year anniversary. And that's why you see that 125 on the captain Mutuma's back on this near side flank. 125 years of history. Proud history. So another beautiful scrum, perfect platform. Ball is fed out into midfield. Pre-planned move.
What a take there.
Lovely passing by Tigers. Cutting back in, strong on his feet. Lomagundi scrambling. And again, Tigers coming close to the line. The big runners are coming. And Captain Fantastic again of the Bisons, doing well on defensive duty. Hit his man hard, held him up. Is that ball available? Is it coming out? No, it is not. Turnover, Bisons.
What could go wrong here?
This Bisons defense has been money so far.
I think that's the only thing they've practiced for the past 2 weeks.
This Bisons defense is money. Everything Tigers have thrown at them so far, Bisons have absorbed it and have shut it down. And as we were saying a few moments ago, right in front of that VIP enclosure housing the Prince Edward School Old Boys, who have the best view of this Lomagundi defense that is producing a masterclass at this stage.
Very big scrum again.
Lovely scrum there from Lomagundi. Oh, and Lomagundi not exiting immediately, held up. That ball looked like it was available for a moment. Turnover, Tigers. Quickly to the left. Kamuvumbi. Try time.
And try time.
Tigers.
You can see a lot of relief off of the coach's faces that side.
Kamuvumbi, who's been selling that dummy the whole game that nobody's been buying, but eventually
managed to get his try. I think they're starting to work on their chemistry a bit more and seeing where everyone fits in and how to work this team. And I think it just comes as the game goes on, you see how the other team plays and you start to figure it out a bit more.
So that Bison's defense was holding and holding and holding for a long time.
Can they take the lead with this conversion?
So it's a rather difficult kick coming up. But if anyone can slot it over, it is Kunaka, who has a prodigious boot on him.
You can see the Prince Edward boys celebrating very well in their stand there.
So slight wind here on Jubilee Field. You see the flags, the Paramount Garments flags in the background. It'll be going a little left to right over his left shoulder. So the wind could help him, but it's swirling here on Jubilee Field. So this is a very difficult kick. He had a poor week last week with his kicking boots against the Dragons. Can he?
So hope he's had a bit of practice this weekend.
Can
maybe
he bring that kicking mojo back? Kunaka, beautiful strike, high.
And it's over.
Excellent kick. This young man has a prodigious boot. Last week, he left so many points on the table against St. George's College. But today, he looks like his head is in it. And the kicking boots are back. So lovely conversion, Tigers. So 26 odd minutes into this encounter. The scoreline now reads Prince Edward School Tigers 7, Lomagundi Bisons 5.
Been so good so far. Let's see what the rest of this game has to bring.
Lovely game so far, indeed. Quite enjoyable to watch.
It's really good to see also that they're playing clean rugby, safe rugby, and they're just having fun at the same time.
Definitely. Only one call of a high tackle, if my memory serves me correct. So being played in good spirits so far. So the restart is high and deep, taken in by Tigers. And Kunaka clearing the lines. And that will be that for the first half. Our referee, Mr. Kuda Matopo, says that is halftime. Kieran, your thoughts on that first half?
Lomagundi has done so well in defense. Prince Edward's done well in getting ground, but their hands, again, are just not helping them out too much. They could have had 4 tries by now, but just silly mistakes are letting them down.
Definitely, Tigers not being clinical with the opportunities that they've been presented, but this Lomagundi defense has stood up strong for large periods of this first half, and when they were presented with an opportunity to score, they took it with aplomb. So halftime in this encounter is Prince Edward School 7, Lomagundi College 5. We'll be back shortly for the second half.
And we are live at Prince Edward, and we've got the Tigers versus the Lomagundi Bisons. And the scoreline reads 7-5 to Prince Edward.
Excellent first half. That was where, from the word go, Bisons were all over the Tigers and went up 5 points to 0. And then Tigers worked their way back. But it was more the Bisons' defense doing the job and Tigers not being as clinical as they would like to be. So second half under the way, Kunaka with a high start finds grass, but no damage for Bisons, who look like they want to run it from deep. Eventually, they put ball to boot.
What? Oh, would have been
And
great take there.
Tigers. This is what Bisons do not want, is Tigers running at you. And Tigers coming close to the line. Ball is available. Slow ball.
Looks like they've had a good team chat and they've finally sorted out
Try
their
time,
hands.
Tigers. And that is definitely not how Bisons wanted to start that second half.
I think they were taken aback there from the first half. Sloppy hands cost the Prince Edward boys a bit of a few tries, and now they're coming back.
So from restart, Lomagundi opted to exit, but Prince Edward managed to keep that ball alive. The chase line from Lomagundi was very disjointed and left lots of gaps, and exploited very quickly by Prince Edward, something that they weren't doing in that first half.
Yeah, I think their hands are a bit sloppy. There's no communication and cost them a few points, and they're coming back.
So Kunaka with his second conversion attempt of the day. His first one was a beauty from
Can he make the second?
from the far touchline. So on this occasion, the wind is not in his favor. He's kicking into a slight little wind, which is going from tuck-shop end towards the scoreboard. But if anyone can slot it over, this young man can. So Kunaka, conversion attempt. Taking as much time as he needs.
And he misses.
And pulled it to the left. So scoreline remains 12 points to 5 in favor of the Tigers. But Lomagundi need an answer, and they need to answer quickly, because this Tigers team, once they get ahead of steam, it is very hard to stop them.
I think once they find their chemistry and they work well together, it's a very unstoppable team, like you said, and they're starting to do that now.
So Chinyaza with ball in hand. High restart, contestable. Gandhi, Bisons come over with the ball. And ball, it finds
Look like
grass,
they've panicked
but
a
so
bit there.
far Bisons still with ball on the halfway line. Lovely work on the wicket, keeping the ball alive are the Bisons. Tigers defensive line, it's 6s and 7s. And no advantage coming. Double knock looks like is the call there from the referee. So Tigers put under pressure, that restart, coughing up the ball. And Bisons with the scrum put in. So far in that opening half, scrums were going according to feed, 100%. Will Bisons be able to do the same and kick on from here?
See a lot of 8-man takes here in the scrums, which could cost the Bisons a bit. That 8-man is very powerful.
So Makuyana with ball in hand feeds it in. A little bit of pressure coming in, but 8-man break. Bisons running laterally, eventually feeding it out to Ngara. Kick over the top. Ball beats everybody. Eventually, Unganai with the ball in hand. Going off on a bit of a mazy run.
That looks like a very not okay tackle
Big
there.
tackle comes in, but very well controlled by the Bisons to avoid trouble. Box kick, Kunaka. Ball finds grass. Bisons inviting pressure. The chase comes in from Kunaka. Bisons clear their lines. Ball doesn't find touch. And Chitendeni with ball in hand. giving the ball some air. Tigers, the bus is full. Massive collision.
And there was hands in the ruck there by the Lomagundi Bisons.
Tigers in full flight is a thing of beauty. And the Bison at the moment are finding it hard to contain this Tigers team at the moment.
Yeah, I think they're definitely doing a lot better. And Hans, at number 11, is doing some great work there for the team.
So both Chitendenis are on the field today at 11 and 14 for the Tigers. And when those young men get that ball, it is coming back and coming back quickly. So shot call is the option taken by Tigers. Kunaka, he is 1 from his 2 kicks so far. This is his first 3 points.
I think a very talented player, this kicker, and everyone should watch out for him because you don't even know what he's going to do in the future.
Definitely a good future prospect for the nation. He was part of the Old Hararians under 20 squad as well this year. So he is a very good player.
I think when you start playing at that level and with guys older than you and bigger than you, you start to pick up a bit. Oh, he almost made it.
Off the ball. Ball is alive. Bisons scrambling. Very close, but that penalty conversion attempt was off the upright. So relieving kick, scrambled into touch by the Bisons. But the danger is far from over. Tigers with the feed just inside the 22. So first line out of the second half. PE's line out was operating at 100% in that first half. Can they maintain and push on? So short man line out. Send it to the tail, overcooked, but still in Tigers' hands, giving the ball some air. And a knock on in midfield, turnover Bisons. Counter-attack is on, 2-on-1, freeze it up, kick over the top. Penalty, late hit. Penalty, late hit is the call from the referee. So Tigers letting Bisons off the hook on that occasion with that knock on in midfield, and then now a late tackle.
Looks like one of the boys is down with a cramp or something.
Definitely the pace of this game has been right up there. With Rusike and Chirisa in midfield for Tigers. That ball has been moving and moving quickly.
Very, very fast-paced game out here today.
So 2 options for that late hit on the kick. Penalty where the late tackle was made or where the ball landed. So Lomagundi take play up to the 22-meter of Prince Edward.
We've seen Lomagundi get through this defense once. Can they do it again in this lineout?
So that Lomagundi lineout, I think, only took 1 out of their 6. Very, very poor reading from the men from Chinhoyi in the first half. Have they fixed their lineout issues? 6 ball, overcooked again, but safely into Bison's hands. So Bisons with lots of runners, and Prince Edward scrambling. Very lateral from the Bisons, and eventually that defense from Prince Edward snuffs out that attack.
Very, very good defense play there.
So 44 minutes up on our clock here. It is 12 points to 5 in favor of the home team. Prince Edward School Tigers are currently doing the job against the Lomagundi Bisons. This is the final chapter of this schoolboy calendar, which has seen Prince Edward School win 6 out of their 8 matches and shipped 2 losses, one to St. John's College on Derby Day and the other to St. George's College last week. While Lomagundi Bisons, 6 very good victories out of their 11 matches so far this year. And both teams looking to end on a high. So Kamvumbi, huge pass over the top, is forward.
Both teams are playing a very technical game out here today. It's not just a pass and go into contact. It's a lot of thought going into their plays.
Trying to get the ball past that initial press of that 10, 12, 13 and trying to get one of the Chitendenis out on the fringes into some space. But that ball not just drifted forward. The referee said it went forward out of the hands. So Bison with an opportunity to return the favor now. Can they execute at scrum time? Yes, they can. Ball comes out into midfield. Pre-planned move. Lovely interplay. Prince Edward trying to spoil the party. Ball is available again. Coming to the short side. Bison shrugging off tacklers. Keeping that ball alive. Coming back infield now. Lots of big runners. Lots of decoy runners.
And
Bison's charging for the line.
what a save there.
Hit short. No, not coming through the gate. No release by the tackler. Desperation time for Tigers.
This could still be anyone's game. It's only 46 minutes in.
Chinyadza looked like he had the try liner begging. So Bison's up for the tap and go. Massive carry. Is that Falkenberg with the scrum cap? But he has been held up. He went in with the wrong body position. And turnover Tigers. And Tigers are pumped in the background there.
See a lot of relief on their faces.
Massive get out of jail card played there by Tigers. But Chinyadza, the 10 from Bisons, looked like he was in for all money.
I was almost there. I think they panicked a bit and they just did whatever they could, even if it cost them a penalty.
And I think Bisons will feel very hard done by that penalty right on the line where Kunaka didn't come through the gate. It was
Still
a
a very danger zone though.
It was a very close to being yellow card territory, and I'm sure Bisons would have been asking the question. That was cynical. It was just on the try line. Bisons were red hot on attack. But now Prince Edward with a scrum in the shadow of their own sticks. Ball is available. Kunaka was hit behind the scrum, but offside is the call. Bisons and Kunaka trying to play quickly, but took the tap behind the referee's back.
I think they're starting to feel the pressure now with Bisons being so close in their territory.
Kunaka trying to speed it up, trying to catch Bison's napping, but will have to take the penalty and safely into touch.
You can hear the crowd going ecstatic here, trying to keep the boys up in spirits.
And super sub is coming on. And if Bisons thought they were going to have it all their way, a young man named Ungana is about to get onto the field, popularly known as Unks. And Kamvumbi is off the field. So a reshuffle there by Prince Edward. And again, Kaganaka trying to speed it up, and referee calls him back again.
Looks like the ref is going to have a meeting now.
So referee has called time off and is probably going to give a lecture to someone on this near touch side. I think someone remonstrated when Kunaka tried to take that tap quickly from the Prince Edward bench, tried to speed it up, and referee said not where the mark was. And I'm sure the Prince Edward bench were feeling a little aggrieved.
Yeah, it's part of the game. I suppose everyone gets heated up in the moment and they don't realize some things are obstructing the game on the sidelines.
So Prince Edward take the short arm, tap and go. And play is on the Prince Edward 10 meter. Most of the second half has been played in that Prince Edward half. There's another big carry comes in. Konaka at the next breakdown. Ball is available. Some more
Massive hit there.
massive hit indeed in midfield there. As Tigers going backwards, but finally break and play. And
it
ball
misses in
doesn't go to hand. Bisons let off the hook again. Tigers not executing.
Very close game, and both teams are holding their own pretty well, I would say.
7 points in it. It is a nervous energy that is now starting to descend here on Jubilee as the sun starts to set here in the capital. A lot of nervous fans and family watching this encounter.
Definitely a very, very nail-biting game so far.
So
Ball comes out.
another useful scrum there by Bisons. Another set play at backline time. There is some gas. And a massive shot comes in. Lovely tackle there coming in from Prince Edward to halt the Bisons on that occasion.
But number 3 from Prince Edward down at the moment with injury. Looks like he's in quite a bit of pain.
Bison look like they've got the numbers. Bison on the front foot. Captain, lovely angle, but shut down quickly by Tigers. Ball is still available. Bisons looking lovely offload there. Falkenberg. Good carry. Taking play up to the 22 meter. Chinyaza. Little grubber kick in. Unganai links up with his backline teammate. And excellent work by Tigers to reel that ball in. Pick and go around the fringe. Bison.
Bison's in the danger zone of PE.
And Kunaka puts ball to boot safely into touch. But lovely work coming in from the Bisons there. Taking Prince Edward's defense from left to right. And almost penetrating. Looking for that 7-point score that could level this encounter. So stoppage in play as Gabi, the big number 3 from Prince Edward, is down in back play. And he receiving attention, waiting to see if he can continue. And another PE player is down as well. So Gabi is back on his feet in the 3 jersey for Prince Edward, running gingerly while we wait to see. Is that Chitendeni who's down there?
Again, very tough boys, just take the ice and get back up and get ready to play again.
There are some tough boys out there on display today. And looks like it is the captain, Mutuma, who is now back on his feet with the 125 on his back, while Gabi in the 3 hobbles over to that line out.
Looks like the ref has called the line out forward, if I'm not mistaken.
So, Kunaka.
Looks like it went into touch there.
Went
Right,
into
by
touch,
the 5
and
meter.
so that line out from Lomagundi is just not ticking at the moment. It really is struggling. They have a line out on the 5 meter now for Prince Edward. They need to execute if they can try to score and level up this encounter.
Can Lomagundi do this line out? They have had 1 successful one so far out of 8.
So ball is in, but skew. Another missed opportunity at line out time from Lomagundi. And that Prince Edward scrum has an opportunity to relieve the pressure yet again. So that is, I think that is the undoing of Lomagundi so far in this encounter. I think 2 out of a potential 10 lineouts have been won. That is dismal, unfortunately.
I think, yeah, some work that they need to do there, especially the hooker throwing in skew and the jumpers.
So 8th man break. Tigers looking to exit. So getting the caterpillar, getting their worm sorted out. And they go for the pick and go. So Tigers,
The 8-man breaks have been spectacular so far today.
they've gained some good momentum for Tigers. So another pick and go around the fringe. Bison's doing well so far to halt this Tigers team there on that 22. But back in the pocket and safely into touch. Excellent exit by Prince Edward.
This is taking some pressure off the boys, gets them out of the danger zone, and they can think of their next gameplay.
So this second half started off with a very good Prince Edward try right from the off to make it 12 points to 5. But the longer this half has gone on, Bisons have been growing in belief, been growing in stature, they've been getting the momentum, and finally their line out works. And sideways, backwards, they have lost so much ground, have the Bisons. And
What a big tackle there.
wrapped up by that Prince Edward defense. So Prince Edward have marched the Bisons back into their own half, and lovely line speed coming from Prince Edward, hitting the Bisons on their 10-meter. And from a position where they were looking like they could try and affect the scoreline, Bisons are now going to have to rebuild from very deep. And knock on. Excellent work, Prince Edward defense.
Can they do that Tiger magic that they normally do and see if they can get one more try in?
So finally, Tigers have the ball in opposition half. Territory has been going one way for most of this second half, even though Tigers did score at the very beginning of that half.
Doesn't look like either of these sides are backing down anytime soon, though. Still anyone's game.
They are going toe to toe, blow for blow, and Kunaka feeds it in. Bisons putting the pressure on at scrum time, but Kunaka comes away with it. Set move from Tigers. Unganai out the back, giving the ball some air. Chitendeni steps his man, shreds his man, comes back on the inside, shreds another man. Eventually, he gets buried into the turf, looking very winded down there is Chitendeni. But Tigers now on the front foot, slowing it down. Lovely take and excellent leg drive, taking Tigers forward. Kunaka looking for runners. Tigers at the angle.
Good at try time again.
Try time, Tigers.
These St. George's, Prince Edward boys are really having a mare and having a great time watching their school do some amazing things today.
Excellent work on attack by Prince Edward on that occasion. And the grandstand burst into song as the young men in maroon and green celebrate. So 17 points now up on the scoreboard. Prince Edward looking very strong and now in a very commanding position with the conversion to come. So for long periods of the second half.
Oh, and he misses.
For long periods of the second half, Lomagundi College looked like they had the measure of this Prince Edward team. They were looking like they were going to get the score that would potentially tie this match. They were in the corner, they were on attack, and just couldn't get over the line, and then Prince Edward just went the other way. 1-2 opportunities taken, and now the ask is looking very tall.
It's a Prince Edward trait, you know, they don't like losing. Very competitive team, and once they work out what's going on and they start performing well, it's game over, honestly.
Bisons with the restart, high, deep restart. Massive carry and stripped. Turnover Bisons. They needed something special.
So we've got 2 injuries at the moment now, one from Lomagundi and one from Prince Edward.
Ball went backwards is the call from the referee. Bisons looking to keep that ball alive.
The ref is calling offsides.
Not rolling away is the first call by the referee. So Bison's trying to speed it up. Desperation time now. 12 points behind are the men from Chinhoyi. 60 minutes up on our clock. They need something. A moment of magic. That is magic stuff from Bisons. Try time. What a run by Gwenzi. He has been electric all season. Flung the ball back onto his inside to Mashonganyika. And Bisons needed a response. They needed it quickly. And that was magic stuff.
I think that's, yeah, a very good try done there by the Bisons, but I'm sure PE won't let that slide. They're going to come back in and see if they can get one more try through.
So following that first try by Lomagundi College to make it 5-0, the scoreboard had been one-way traffic, 17 unanswered points by Prince Edward over the course of the first into the second half. But finally, Bisons respond. 17 points now up on the board for Prince Edward, 10 for Lomagundi. Conversion to come from a similar position to the one that Kunaka slotted in the first half. The wind is aiding him. Can he guide it in? No, he can't. Flag's not raised on that occasion. So 7-point ball game it is still, after Kunaka also missed his conversion attempt, whose kicking woes seem to have returned now. Kunaka, 1 from his 4 attempts so far, while in the Lomagundi camp, Chinyadza also no successful kicks from his 2 attempts today.
Looks like the ref is trying to signal something here.
In front of the kicker, basic schoolboy stuff.
Yeah.
So Kunaka gets the game restarted again. Try scorer going off on a Maisie. Hold in and loses the ball. And the try scorer, Mashonganyika, looking to spark that magic comeback that the Bisons desperately need at this stage. But bundled into touch, and ball is available for Prince Edward at line-out time.
And Prince Edward takes it.
So
What a
lovely
line-out.
take by Prince Edward. Driving more quickly into shape, and hauled down illegally by Creel in that red scrum cap. So Tigers giving the ball some air. Turnover. But we were under penalty advantage. So we go back. So these Prince Edward School runners are looking dangerous as ever when they have the ball in hand.
Yeah, very, very quick boys, and they're good on their feet. They can see the gaps and they can create their space.
Definitely very quick. So Kunaka sends the ball into touch on that far side touchline, taking play just inside the 22 of the Bisons. Last line out for Tigers. Work to treat, set it up into a rolling maul. Got some good momentum that was illegally collapsed by the Bisons.
The Tigers also seen that Lomagundi's weak point is their line-out, so I think that's where they're targeting most now.
So full man line out is the call from Prince Edward. Sent to 4-man, hauled in expertly by Prince Edward. Straight into the maul. Kunaka urging his players to get some go forward, and go forward they do on this occasion. Kunaka imploring his teammates to go forward. Break around the fringe. Tigers getting very close. Kunaka. Ball slips out, but ball still available. Stretches out and loses the ball forward.
You're starting to see the same mistakes that PE made in the first half. They're starting to see them again now.
I think that was Rusike with ball in hand, close to the try line. Got a little greedy, tried to stretch out and lost the ball forward. So as the shadows start to lengthen here on Jubilee Field, 64 minutes up on the clock, there is not much time left for Lomagundi to salvage this encounter. Solid scrum from the Bisons. Playing from deep are the Bisons. Desperation time. Prince Edward marshalling them to the touchline. And excellent work by Prince Edward to shut down the Bisons at source. So Bisons failed to even make it past their 22-meter line. So Ujeneza, he's been very good at line-out time today. Another very good take. Transferred the ball, and obstruction is the call by the ref. Pre-planned move to win it at 2, transferred to the man standing at 4 and set up the maul there. But referee said it was obstruction. Big pass out to the try scorer, the magic man. With his dancing feet, breaks the first tackle, eventually hold in, pick and go. Lovely work, Bisons. Excellent gain in territory by Bisons. But they are deep in the pocket, looking a little unsure of what to do with the ball. Lovely interplay.
That defense from the Prince Edward team is looking very solid, and they lose it. Prince Edward has gained again.
Line speed and excellent defense by Prince Edward, forcing the turnover. And no advantage is the call there. So as much as we were praising the Bison's defense earlier in this encounter, this Prince Edward defense is also doing the job at the moment.
Yeah, for sure. They've picked it up and they're holding their own.
They're making their tackles. Their line speed is quite good at this stage. And
Look like we've got one man down.
And another man down in back play. And the referee says time off once again. So this is the last chapter of this year's schoolboy calendar. Schoolboy calendar that has been laced with controversy, with backing and forthing, with blame games. But at the end of the day, we are too small a rugby playing nation for exclusion, discrimination, and for the game that we love to not be played by everyone.
If I'm not mistaken, didn't Prince Edward hold their own when they went on tour to South Africa?
Definitely they did. But I don't believe a single Zimbabwean school played any team in the top 50 of the schools in South Africa. So that is also telling of just the gulf in class or quality between Zimbabwean rugby and
I also wonder what they feed those South African boys, because some of those boys are massive.
no, the South African rugby player is a different breed.
For sure. Oh, we're seeing that now in the under-20s as well.
Yep, another big pass out. Captain hacks the ball through. And the bounce favors Prince Edward, beating everyone into touch. So Bisons saw a glimmer of an opportunity to go coast to coast, with Prince Edward trying to remain as expansive as possible, trying to give the ball as much air as possible.
I think there's now a lot of pressure and stress coming from the Lomagundi boys towards Prince Edward, and they're starting to panic a bit.
So Ujeneza with ball in hand once again. Line out time. Full man line out for Prince Edward. Send it to 4. And skew. So that Prince Edward line out that had been ticking for them is now starting to creak. Second line out doesn't go their way. 68 minutes up on the clock, not much time left. If the Bisons are to salvage this, this is the time. Scrum down, halfway line and 15-meter intersection. Perfect platform. Ball fired out into midfield. Prince Edward coming up. Bisons over the halfway line, freeing up the arms. And ball is lost forward. And that is the final act of this encounter. Lomagundi had the opportunity to take it, but couldn't do it.
Yeah, for sure. It was a very nail-biting game. It could have been anyone's game, but Prince Edward just came back stronger in the second half. They had a good team talk, and they pulled themselves together, had some composure, and made great plays.
Definitely. So it was 5 points to start off the match from Lomagundi, and then Prince Edward went on a 17-point scoring spree, and then Lomagundi looked like they were going to pull it out of the fire with that 5-pointer, but it was a bridge too far against this powerful Prince Edward team.
I think Prince Edward had their old boys, they've got their VIP tent, they've got everyone screaming for them. They had so much confidence in themselves, and they could feel the other people wanting to win as well. So it probably gave them a lot of help.
So that is that from here on Jubilee Field at Prince Edward School. The final score in this encounter reads Prince Edward 17 and Lomagundi College 10. So that is us for the schoolboy calendar for the year, but that is not us for the day. The program will continue shortly with the Paramount Garments National Final. That will see the old foes, Old Hurrians, taking on Old Georgians. So stay tuned for more action-packed rugby here on the Cairo Sports page, proudly powered by CBZ Bank.